Hello everyone, my name is Ronak and you're watching VectoArt. So in today's video, we'll take a look at some of the packages that can help you design modern desktop applications in WinForms. So without any further ado, let's get started. And for those who haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel. It means a lot and it motivates me to create more such videos. So let's start by opening Visual Studio 2022 or higher and click on create a new project. Select Windows Forms app from your recent projects, or you can also search from the search box over here. So I'll go with the recent project template and click on next. Let's give this project a name. Let's say modern UI and click on create. So now that our project is loaded, let me build it once before we start looking into the NuGet packages. Okay, so the rebuild is complete. So there are two ways for me to, install these NuGet packages. So let's go to Tools and choose the option Manage NuGet packages for the solution. You can also use the console where you will type the command install package and provide the package name. So let me go with this UI solution over here and click on Manage NuGet packages. So let's go to the Browse tab and search for material skin. So select the one that is for WinForms, and here you can see theming WinForms to Google's material design principles. So let's select this and select your project and install. Make sure you select the stable version and apply. So while the package is being installed, we can go to the URL of the package and see if there are any documentations on this. So you can click here, project URL, which will take you to the documentation. So here is the source code for the material skin. If to check out, so here it talks about the material skin for .NET Windows Forms. It talks about what are the components or the controls that it provides and whether it has light and dark version supported or not. So here you have the checkbox, divider, flat button, raised button, and so on. So we will take a look at these, and how you can add these to this material skin to your project is also specified here. How to add it to your toolbox, which we will look and how to inherit from material form is also explained over here. So and let's dive into these details in the next video, but for now the objective will be to add this to your toolbox. So let's me minimize this and see if it is installed or not. So it is installed, so let me close this, or let's leave it as is and go to the designer here. And I do not see the toolbox, so let me click over here and let me wait for the toolbox to load. So if you see here, I have all the Windows controls, common controls, menu bars, and other items, but I do not see the. Okay, so here if you see, we have the material skin loaded. If you do not see it, you can either reset your toolbox, or you can go to the library and add the DLL file from there. So let's see how this material skin checkbox looks like. So let me drag and drop. Over here you can also drag and drop the divider. It's not nothing fancy over here. So okay, and then you have the flat button, then we have the label, which is pretty simple, nothing fancy. Then you have the radio button, but it all these controls are following the Google's material design theme. So next we have the raised button, and then we have the single line text field, which is a text box, and you will see what it means when we run this. And then we have a tab control and a tab selector. So let me run this. If you want, we can change the text over here. All the basic properties of the checkbox will be available, and see how all these buttons behave on click and see them in action. So I'm running my application over here. So here you can see we have the checkbox, which has this nice animation, and then we have the material radio button and the flat button label and the raised button, and you can see there are subtle animations also. And if you see here, this text box has just a line below and it looks nice. So if you compare them with the regular buttons that and the controls that WinForms provides, so if you see here, we have all the controls over here. So let's select the checkbox over here and place it next to it, and then we have the button, which is here, and then we have the radio button, and then there is the text box. So these are some of the controls, and let me run this again. And this is how the regular Windows control behave and look like when compared to the material theme ones. So here, if you see, you have this nice looking animation, and these are more like change in an instant, but these have nice looking animations. Also, these buttons, if you see, are quite simple when compared to the material theme buttons. Then we have similar thing going on for the radio buttons and the text box. So that was for the material skin. Okay, so next we will look at another theme or control project, that would be the modern UI. So let's search for modern UI, and let's ensure that we search it under the browse. And here you can see we have modern UI, and you have to ensure that it is the one for uh, WinForms and not for WPF. So let me see. Okay, so it says that it brings the new modern UI alias Metro UI of Windows 8 to .NET Windows Forms application. So this is the right one. So let's select it and make sure you select the latest version and click on install. Apply. So let's see if the package is installed or not. It is. So let's go back to our form and see if we have this toolbox updated, and here you can see we have the Metro framework tools available. So let's do the same exercise of dragging and dropping the checkbox over here, and then we have other controls as well, like the combo box, Metro link, link label, panels, progress bar, progress spinner, which looks interesting. Let's take a look at this one. Um, so it maybe it's like a loading icon. Then we have the scroll bar, style manager, tab control, text box, and then the regular stuff. So let's also drag this button and also select the radio button. Okay, so let's run this. Before running, let's see if it has some additional properties. So let's select this, and if you see here, let's select the button, and under properties, so here you have the metro appearance properties, and here you can see if you can change this style. You can change the theme, you can change it to dark, and doing so it will change the theme of the button. So you can do that. You can also change the color of these loading icons. So you can go to properties, and here if you see, it has these properties called custom background, ensure visibility, maximum value, minimum value, style. You can change it to maybe orange, and then of course the theme again to dark. So let me run this application and see how these controls behave. So here you can see we have this loading icon or the loading progress bar. Then we have the checkbox. It behaves a little different from the regular checkbox that WinForms provides. So it has this entire checkbox filling with colors. I believe this color also can be changed like the one we did for the progress bar. Then we have the text box, then the button. So it has some nice animation and color transitions, and the radio button also looks good. So this is for the modern UI. Okay, so the next tool that we are going to take a look is the Syncfusion WinForms UI control. So let's go to the browse panel and search for Syncfusion. And let's search for the WinForms package. Let's type WinForms. Okay, so here is the Syncfusion tools windows, and let's select this and click on install. Click on apply. So similar to the other packages, you can go to the GitHub repository, or in this case, it is the Syncfusion's um, website where they have the documentation for all the controls that they provide. And here you can see we have Syncfusion Essential Tools windows, shared bases, and grid windows. So Syncfusion has a lot of tools to offer, and if you go under tools windows, you will see so many controls that Syncfusion offers. So for example, the calculator control, which can come in handy in tools that are heavily relying on control calculators. And if you see, if for example, if I run this, this is not a free version of free tool to add to your application. It requires a license, which we will see shortly. So here you can see this application is built using a trial version. So to have the license, you can, or to try out this tool, you can go to Syncfusion's website, and you can create a free profile of 30 days trial, and then you can download your keys and paste it in the error that you can see over here. Here you can see, click on claim license, sign in with your credentials, and claim the license by selecting these um, fields as individual. Select the type as student or hobbyist maybe, or you can, and then you can provide your organization name, website maybe. I don't think it is mandatory. These are the things that are mandatory. And let's scroll down, and it asks you if you are planning to publish your project built using, and you can say yes or no. And then a LinkedIn profile is what it is asking. It again depends on you if you want to try out this um, tool. For me, I will just go ahead and fill these details and submit it. So here on the Syncfusion website, if you go to products, here under WinForms, you will see all the controls and their documentation. For example, if you go to the data grid, you will see how to use the data grid and an overview of what are the features that it provides: instant loading, faster data processing and export. And here is a look of how the data grid looks like and what all features it provides, what are the built-in data error indications, operations, and so on. So it is quite good. And then we have docking managers, autocomplete, spreadsheet, time pickers, and so on, and many more. And it also has support for other platforms like WPF, WinUI, .NET MAUI, Flutter, Xamarin, and UWP. So here you can see all these controls. You can see the clock control, you have the image streamer, mini toolbar, navigation view, and so on. So please do check out this tool. It is very interesting and has lots and lots of features. So okay, those were all the controls that I could find for now to be added and experimented and installed on your Windows Forms applications. I will come up with a new video soon with more tools like these to be explored. So hope you all like watching this video. Till then, bye bye.